Hi Virgo, and welcome to your shadow reading. Okay, so let's see. What does Virgo need to be aware of? What does Virgo need to be aware of? Come on, Virgo, don't be so stubborn. Got it. Take this one. Wait. Oh, sorry, my fish. What's the last thing for Virgo? For what they need to be aware of? What's the last thing for Virgo and what they need to be aware of? Right? Okay, yes. Let's see. Peaceful among thorns. Calling the storm. Revenge. Colorless angel. Parasite. And atonement. I did not even start the reading yet, but I do get a heck of a lot of resentment. Like, Virgo, you really can't stand somebody right now. You feel resentful. And that's just what I'm... Okay, let's see. For your conscious actions. Peaceful among thorns, but I'm hearing you have no choice but to be here. I have no choice but to be here. This is not what I want. This is not where I want to be. Gotta make do with a bad situation. So you're bouncing back and forth between anger and acceptance. You're angry with the position you find yourself in, but at the same time trying to be okay with it because it's supposed to be temporary, just right here, right now. So, and you may be thinking for yourself consciously that you might have even said it. Don't talk to me because you don't know what side of me you're gonna get. You can either get the peaceful, calm version, or I'm gonna want to fight. Pick your poison. Test me at your own risk. But just know I gave you fair warnings. And you may not even be saying, and even if you're not saying this, this is something you could be showing where on a day-to-day basis, where one moment you're fine, the next moment is, why you up in my face? Why you talking to me? Leave me the fuck alone. You know I don't want to be bothered right now. So you kind of go back and forth between calm and very pissed off and angry real quick. Now this is something that you are aware of. And truth be told, Virgo, with the energy I'm giving you, again, you do not give a fuck. You really do not care. You're aware of how you're behaving and you do not care. It is what it is. For your conscious thoughts and influences, you have calling the storm and revenge. This is so weird. I'm calling the storm on somebody, but it's definitely not hitting me. So, considering your conscious behaviors and actions, for that to come up with calling the storm, Virgo, are you intentionally antagonizing someone, getting under their skin, causing mischief and chaos just because you know you can and get away with it? And even if you're not getting away with it, to a point play victim, like they're the cause of your bad behavior, of the reason why you're being petty, because they're the ones who put you in the position you currently find yourself in. Because calling the storm, you also speak to changes, changes and upheaval. Basically, I don't know if you know, spirit thing, it still applies. Turning a bad situation good. Turning a bad situation good. A good situation bad. Creating events unprepared for. All out of spite and malice. And for you to also have revenge card for conscious thoughts and influences, there's a whole lot of anger. Like, you really want to get back at somebody. I would not be in this position if it wasn't for you. You're going to feel my pain. You're going to feel my wrath all the while. No one's ever going to believe you when they say and that it was me. I'm also hearing that I'm going to be your dark angel and cause your downfall. Everything bad is because of me, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. You know what? This is why you never piss off a Virgo. Because when they set their mind to something, they will do it. And if you happen to come across a Virgo that is petty, good luck proving they did it. Because the only thing I see Virgo right now, because the reason why I say that's the only thing I'm seeing right now, is someone can literally be pointing the finger at you, pissed as hell, saying you did X, Y, and Z. For some of it, even have documented proof, but you just sitting back, laying back with your feet up, people still shaking their head, wondering how you could possibly do that. or why they're even accusing you. Some of them not even pay attention to the so-called proof, claiming it's fake. You don't need to defend yourself because you have other people defending you for you. And at the same time, other people are saying, well, if you didn't, basically jumping on that person who's claiming that you over here started the shit. Well, you started this because Virgo wouldn't even be acting this way if you didn't do what you did. That's why we said what I said. For someone to deal with a Virgo, especially when they're being petty, I wish you all the luck. Because I see what over here Spirit is showing me, and it's not pretty. It's going to be an uphill battle. It is going to be a fight that I don't think this other person can win. For your subconscious thoughts and influences, you have colorless angel. Oh, this Sophie took a turn. There's no point to being here. I've done all I can. Time is moving so slow. I wish it could be done and over with. Literally drained the life out of me. So on a conscious level, you're angry, you're pissed, and you have no problem acting on it, especially towards a specific person in mind. But for your subconscious thoughts, I wouldn't say you're in your feelings, more of in the stage of fighting off depression. You really don't want to be in the place that you find yourself in. Now, this can be different for different people. That's why I try not to look too hard about what it could be, but just going off of what Spirit is showing me, if you were living in a homeless shelter, you could have been illegally evicted. Or the landlord didn't do what they were supposed to take care of. And the building's no longer livable. Now you're stuck someplace you don't want to be at. If you got fired from your job due to false accusations, you could be blaming somebody. I'm hearing they didn't think it would get to this level, but there's no taking back what they did. If a family exposed to expose a secret or told a lie on you, I'm hearing just because they were being stupid, it could have had unforeseen consequences. Now again, like I said, the position you find yourself in can be different for various people. All I know is what Spirit is showing me for right now. It's whatever happened, it resulted in some piss poor negative consequences for you. And now you're just waiting for this shit to either die out, waiting for it to be over, for it to be the last thing people talk about or see when they think of you. And until that day comes, you just gotta ride out this isolation. So even if you have people around you, you still feel, on a subconscious level, you still feel isolated and separated from them, like an outsider looking in. You also have parasite. Someone is clinging to you like a barnacle and you don't like it. They're draining your time, money, resources, your energy. You're doing what you can to get away from them. Some way, somehow, they always choose you. Why can't they take the hint and leave you the fuck alone? So whoever this is that needs you for something, either they are the parasite or they could have caused this where someone is completely dependent and reliant on you, but now this can go one of two ways. If the person you are lashing out at is the one that's reliant on you, the way it's coming off, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do, they won't go anywhere. And they're not trying to make an effort to change. I'm hearing I gotta deal with this person till the day I die. Oh, now for the others of you, where the person you're lashing out at is not the person that's dependent or reliant on you, this could either be a child, a friend, a family member, someone who is completely dependent on you, but because you love them, you have no problem taking care of them, but you are resentful, you are angry that you're the one taking care of them. If only this other person did their job in the first place, I wouldn't be in this mess. But again, those are your subconscious thoughts. And even still, it doesn't have to be a child. It could be a friend or a family member that's relying on you in some way, shape, or form, either emotionally, for emotional support, financially, if they're going through a hard time. And you could be blaming their former partner, their former partner, their parent, roommate, or one of their ex-employees, ex-employees or ex-co-workers that cause a domino effect, leaving this person totally reliant and dependent on you. So if that's how you feel subconsciously, then lashing out may be your release and help you feel better just a little bit. And lastly, you have atonement. Dang. Atonement is usually when someone's paying the price for an action or taking on the responsibility and accountability for someone else's mistake. But the way this is showing up, even your subconscious thoughts and influences, I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to me. All these knives are coming right out of my back and going into yours. You're the one who did this shit. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna pay the price. Don't run away from the truth. This is what you deserve. Hold yourself accountable. Be honest for once. in your miserable life instead of gaslighting and provoking anger. Okay. So yeah, even subconsciously, you're focusing somebody to take accountability and have the intent to make them feel as bad as you do. Actually, fuck feeling bad. You're trying to make them suffer, one slice at a time. Here before going for their neck. Okay. Now, what does Spirit have to say about all this? Dang. Spirit got jokes. Don't involve me in this. I'm just an innocent bystander. Wait, Spirit got jokes. Spirit, what does Spirit have to say? Yeah, I do not like when Spirit does that. Please don't do that again. Got them right. Because I asked them not to do it, they did it right on again. Okay. This one? No. Wait. Where? Okay, so you have the Magician for peaceful among thorns, calling the storm and revenge. Ace of Fire and King of Fire. Okay, and Hierophant. So overlaying peaceful among thorns, calling the storm, and revenge, you have the Magician. Life is what you make it. You are a co-creator right along Spirit. If you're not happy with where you are, change it. You have the power, inspiration, all that you need to create a brand new start. Don't be distracted by what's going on around you and the emotional turmoil. There's always a price to pay for someone else's misdeeds. But how do you know it's not where you need? But how do you know it's not the place you need to be to create the biggest change of all? I'm hearing you are a magician and alchemist, creating something out of nothing. The same way you can corrupt any good situation and make it rotten. Time to find a way to transmute all that anger, put it to work, and make something good for a positive outcome. For calling the storm, colorless angel, and parasite, you have Ace of Fire and King of Fire. You have the inspiration, motivation, passion, and drive to use so much anger in destructive ways. But anger is nothing more than an energy. Anger is nothing more than than an emotional form of energy, and energy can be directed for good or bad depending on how you use it. Yeah, time to use that flame for a new beginning. Invoke the King of Fire. Invoke the King of Fire and sage old wisdom, learning from the mistakes of the past, leading with an open heart. Not all damage was meant to be intentional. Learn from their mistakes and move on. Be a leader in your own life and direct the course of action you wanted to take instead of letting I'm hearing instead of letting your own actions define who you are and what you're going to be, which is curious. Because if you're blaming somebody else for the situation you're finding yourself in, how would it be your own actions? Unless there's something you're not being truthful about. Because yes, another person can play a part considering how much anger and rage you have towards them. But is there an action, either something you said or something you did, that could have also contributed to the position you find yourself in? And no, that's not judgmental. That's a pure, honest question. Because with shadow readings, it does force you to take a hard look at your conscious decision making, subconscious thoughts, and find, one, where there's room for improvement, and two, what's really driving you to do what it is you say and do what it is you do, and how can you change and grow for the better. And sometimes you do have to ask yourself the hard questions and hold yourself accountable for things you say and do that did contribute to the situation you find yourself in. Because not everything is another person. Sometimes the things we say and do can contribute to our own downfall. And not everyone can admit to that. Makes to hold ourselves accountable makes it cause a lot of people to feel uncomfortable. So again, just an honest question of, is it possible that something you said or did could have contributed to the situation you find yourself as well? With that statement coming up of, don't let your past decisions and actions define you. and be a leader in your life, dictating your next course of action, where you go and grow from here. All right, now lastly, overlaying revenge, parasite, and atonement, you have the Hierophant. I'm hearing this is a coming together energy. I'm hearing I was right, you was wrong. We both accept the blame. So you could be coming together with somebody, potentially somebody that the person that you're angry with and been lashing out at this whole time, to bury the hatchet. Although the energy is coming off is someone is highly uncomfortable, resistant. I'm hearing anger is all you know. It's going to be hard to let it go. And that change is good. I'm hearing you have everything you need to make this work. Sometimes owning up to your responsibility is all it takes. To have someone sit down at the table, being open and comfortable to admit they too were at fault. How you can come to a compromise. I'm hearing commit to do what is right for the child. So for some of you, it can definitely include a child, especially with specifically for parasite. If someone did leave you high, for lack of better phrasing, high and dry with a child that you both were meant to take care of, whether you went to court and had it legally documented, or had a plan written between yourselves, someone fell short of their commitment. But right now I'm hearing that committing to do what's best for the child. So someone is willing to own up to their mistakes if you're willing to own up to yours as well. Is the gist of what I'm getting with that card. Come to a compromise. Okay, let's see what advice you have, Virgo. Virgo says, what advice do you have for Virgo? Not it. Take this one. Not it. Try again. This one. Does Virgo really need this, or is it more of a side message? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Ma'at and Lilith for judgment and equality. For judgment, the scales are unfairly imbalanced. Are you sure your judgment is not clouded by disappointment and grief? Because the one on the other side paid for the consequences and then some. What you're doing is the added bonus. But just remember, what you give out will return to you threefold. How can you expect better treatment if that's not what you're giving? I'm hearing what you're seeking is not justice. You say it's karma and divine punishment, but it's more so you enacting your revenge on someone you think that has wronged you, thinking the scales would be more in favor. Are you sure you're not kicking someone when they're down, when they have nothing left to lose? So yeah, you're being asked to re-examine your decision making and your judgment of the situation. You have your truth, but are your emotions clouding your judgment? Doing more than what you should to get back at somebody who may or may not deserve all the punishment you're dishing out. I'm also hearing there's a reason for divine punishment. It'll always do a better job than any human can. Even though you don't see how all the parts are at play, at some point in time, all the little situations add up to a catastrophic event. You don't need to do nothing but sit back and enjoy the show. So yeah. And as far as equality, I'm hearing there's got to be a give and take. You want sincerity, but offer rejection. You want kindness, but offer humiliation. At one point in time, do you demand equal treatment? And get what you ask for? If you truly want fairness, if you truly want fairness and treat others with that same energy, don't beat somebody down thinking that's gonna get you the respect that you deserve. You can't expect someone to respect your decision making or the action don't come from messenger. You can't expect someone to respect the actions you choose to take, your decision making, or even how you carry yourself if all you do is reveal your own hypocrisy. If you are kind, you will get it in return. If you are understanding, you may not get it to the same degree, but you can always work towards it. So yeah, basically, what you're asking for, respect, love, kindness, care, compassion, consideration, if that's really what you want, then you have to be the one to take the first step and actually give it to. Especially if it's in regards to this other person that you've been basically exacting your revenge on. They have no reason to treat you with anything more than hostility, contempt, and be fearful towards you if all you're doing is giving them a reason to be that way. But anyway, Virgo, that is what I have for you. I do hope you enjoyed the reading and possibly gain some insight from it. Now, if you did, please do hit the like and subscribe button, as there will be more videos to come. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, Virgo.